Okay, hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Asiago back at you again on 3 a.m. Thoughts. Okay, so right now I'm walking solo. I'm walking into Elite Elementary School. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is this dude walking into an elementary school? Well, it's actually quite simple. You see, if you might have heard my last few podcasts, not including the new show that we just aired, NEWSFLASH, featuring, Mr. Bob Fartley, really cool guy, really chill. But anyways, we recently just rescued Mr. Bill, and Mr. Bill over here, he's gonna meet his son, but I am meeting him first just so I can go ahead and give him an interview, so I can get to know him and see, what kind of wacky recordings we're gonna make with him and his father when they finally meet. So anyways, I'm walking through the elementary school here, and well, to tell you the truth, everything is pretty small here. I hadn't been in an elementary school since since I have gone to one myself. The toilets here are like super tiny. Like I'm talking elves from the freaking North Pole would see this as tiny. Like, this is how tiny this stuff is. Like, you can't be joking about this kind of stuff. And I'm looking at all the desks. I'm looking at all the freaking people walking around. Everything is small. Everything is tiny. Hell, I'm 5'5" and I feel like the shortest person on earth. But then I walk into this building here, my head is almost touching the ceiling. I actually feel tall here, which is kind of weird. It's kind of like I walk into a different dimension or something. But anyways, so we're looking for Neon Firecracker, Mr. Bill's son. I'm gonna go ahead and find him, and
what, Asiago? What do you think you're doing here on the premises?
Oh, hey, Mr. Bob Fartley. Hey, you obviously know who I am. You just said my name. Yeah. No, it's me, Asiago. The guy who hosts 3 AM Thoughts. On the podcasts that Pumbaa owns, but I host. And we recently just given you a spot on our channel. For your podcast, NEWSFLASH.
I know who you are, and I get what you're doing, but you need to get out of here, you slacker.
What? Why? What do you mean? Like, what's so wrong with me trying to find somebody to interview?
Well, first of all, this is still school hours, and second of all, Neon Firecracker needs to focus on his studies.
Okay, well, you're right about that, but I mean, let's be honest here. He's kind of a 35-year-old on the third grade. Maybe we should. Maybe he's all right. If I can just do this and that.
I don't care what you're saying. I cannot listen to your mumbling. Look, just leave him alone. Get out of school before I call the police on you.
Okay. You know what? Yeah. By the way, do you know where Neon Firecracker's class is currently being taken at?
Oh, well, it's down the street over there at Hall D. For a second to third, classroom on the right. You can't miss it. But anyways, get out of here.
Okay, I'm walking out. I'm walking straight out.
Why are you walking towards the hallway?
It's because I parked my car there, It would be easier if I just walked out that way,
Alrighty, you better not be lying to me, boy.
Yeah, I'm definitely not lying, man.
I'm gonna give you detention.
What? You're gonna give me detention?
Yes, I will. I don't give a damn if you don't come into school. I will give you detention.
Okay, whatever. Alrighty, I'll be on my way now. Okay, so now that we've gotten past the principal there, yes, that was Bob Fartley, the freaking host for NEWSFLASH, the other podcast that we have on 3M. Should say the same channel as 3M Thoughts. Oh boy. Anyways, let's go on here. Okay, so second to third classroom, right? Okay, I see him there. I mean, he's the only 35-year-old in third grade, so of course, he's gonna be the most noticeable, fellow in here. All right, let's go ahead and knock on the door here. Hell, can I come in? Hey, so I'm looking for Neon Firecracker.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah. You don't have to scream now. Yeah. Can you come out to the hallway real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you can go ahead and close the door behind you. Okay, let's go find ourselves a place to talk here. You know what? Let's walk and talk. You know, let's go ahead and walk out the door.
What are we all walking out the door for?
Well, look, it's. I'm not gonna explain it right now. You know, but you're not being truant though.
What's truant?
Well, you don't have to worry about that. We're just gonna be walking around the school. I'm gonna be talking to you.
Okay.
Okay, so, hey, so, anyways, you see this microphone over here?
Yeah, well, of course I do.
Well, yeah, you are on, you're on a podcast right now.
Oh, a podcast? Oh, yeah, I love watching those. My favorite podcaster is Markiplier.
Look, first of all, that's a YouTuber. Second of all, why does everybody confuse this thing? This is a microphone. It's not a camera. We're not making a video. We are recording audio. Anyways, so, Neon Firecracker, I just want to go ahead and, just kind of interview you here, because I hear you're a pretty interesting fellow, you know? You've seen some interesting stuff. You are an interesting person yourself, so I just kind of want to interview you for my show, okay?
Oh, okay. I don't see any problem with that. Yeah, so what do you want to talk about?
Well, let's see. Well, I've heard a lot of things about you, like how you used to work at a church, with your Aunt Jemima. You remember her?
Oh yeah, those were the days. Yeah. I was only 15 years old at the time, and now I remember when I went on my big adventure.
Oh, your big adventure.
Oh yeah. When those guys they came in, they had really loud noise sticks.
Noise sticks?
Yeah, they had really noisy noise sticks, and they started making noise everywhere in the church, and I got scared. And I was like, and then I started hiding behind something, and then my brother Rick tried fighting, and then they beat the living crap out of him, and they took him, and I tried chasing after him, but they took me too.
Oh, okay. So these loud sticks, what do they look like? How do they sound like?
Well, they kind of look like what's that letter? The alphabet. It's like it goes
you mean an L?
Yeah, an L. Yeah, an L. It looked like an L, and there was a really loud sound that came out of it, and it sounded like.
Oh, it's just a gun.
Huh? Gun? Where?
No, that's what you're calling, whatever, a noisy stick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I never really made the connection.
Okay, well, anyways, so they started shooting the place up.
Wait, huh?
Okay, well, let's get beyond this. So they started shooting the place up. They took your brother. What's his name?
Oh yeah. That dumbass. His name is Rick. Yeah, he's always been pretty dumb. But anyways, yeah. His name is Rick. My name is Neon, and what were we talking about?
Okay, so you guys were taken on a great adventure by who exactly?
Oh yeah, Mr. Big Mofo. Yeah, I don't know why he was using the noisy sticks in the church. I mean, you're supposed to be quiet in the church, Well, my Aunt Jemima always told me to follow the 3 basic rules of church. Always pray, never make noise, and don't cuss.
Yeah, I get you. So Big Mofo, yeah. So, tell us about your great adventure with it.
Oh yeah. So sure. So you see, my memory is gonna come in pretty vague here, but I remember for a very long time, he would beat the living crap out of us, and we try to fight back, but it's kind of hard to do that whenever they only feed us one frozen burrito every other day, and we got very hungry, we got very skinny, and then every time we'd eat, look at this big old belly here. The rest of my body is skinny, but look at my belly, it's so big and plumpy. I look like a peanut.
Okay, well, I mean that's kind of weird, but yeah, okay, I get you, I understand you. So you're a malnourished.
Well, what does that mean?
Okay, well, let's go on here. So, let's see, the big ears, actually. Does that relate in any way to your big adventure?
Oh, yeah, sure it does. You see, so after years of working for Mr. Mofo, we work our hands to the bone. We do all kinds of stuff for him. We clean the mansion, and we'd entertain him. He would wrap us up in strings and chains and pretend that we were puppets, and then he'll make us fight each other like a pro wrestling match, because for some reason he didn't want to pay for WrestleMania. But anyways, yeah. So he would make me and Rick fight, and what were we talking about again?
Oh, well, somehow we were trying to get to why your ears are so big. I mean, come on, that's the first thing I noticed about you. Like, your ears are just ginormous. Like, what can you tell us? What can you tell us, the audience, about your ears?
Oh yeah, these ginormous things. Well, as you can see. Well, it all started whenever I woke up one morning, and I was sleeping very, very peacefully. I crashed asleep watching my favorite show. What was it? I was watching some racing show, and my face was planted against the screen. I was having a good time. I was listening while I was dreaming. Those are the best dreams. But anyways, I woke up to a fly, being very deep inside my nose.
Oh, okay.
And this also happens to be the day my adventure truly started. All that other stuff, I mean, that was just regular life. But my true big adventure happened on this day.
Okay, that's kind of oddly specific, but go on.
Yeah. So I was peacefully sleeping. This fly went up my nose, and I was like, and I'm like, oh my god, snot and spit everywhere, and I was freaking out because I was like, oh, what's in my nose? Did the Martians take over my nose again? I was so confused. I had no idea what to do. So I started running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I was like, yeah. I started kicking everything everywhere, and my idiot brother Rick, he was like the dumbass he is, he was sleeping on the floor, and he was in the way, and I like to sleep fully clothed, so I actually kicked him with my shoe, and he was like, "Oh, Rick, how could you do that? Oh, look at my teeth! How could you do that?" But anyways, he was crying like a like a little baby, and so I was running around, and I figured, oh well, let me look at the time here. I looked at my watch, and I was like, oh shoot, it's almost time for school, but I don't know what's in my nose still, so I started freaking out even more, and I jumped in the little tub, took a quick shower in my clothes. I also washed my clothes at the same time, and from there I climbed the fence, and I climbed the fence, but before I could climb the fence,
okay, so what about the fly in your nose?
I was getting to that.
Yeah, come on, I'm very curious, like, and also, how does this relate to your ears?
I'm getting there, but anyways, so you see, let's see, where was I? Oh yeah, the fence. So I was gonna climb the fence to hurry up and get to the school bus, because Big Mofo, he doesn't like opening the gates for us every morning for school. I always miss the bus, and I always have to get picked up by the Mexican who carries us via wagon. Wait, huh? No, more on that later. But anyways, so Rick, like the idiot he is, he calls me from behind. He was like, "Hey, Neon." And I was like, huh? What do you want, idiot? Then he throws a brick at me, and then, the brick ends up, it's going towards my face, and I was getting really scared, because I didn't want a bloody nose. I hate looking at blood, and I hate when my nose doesn't work anymore, because then I can't breathe out of my nose. The worst thing that can happen to me is if I become a mouth breather, and, so you see, my idiot brother Rick, he threw this brick at my face, and I protected my face with my mouth, and then the brick went inside my mouth, and it was like, and all of a sudden, I lost a couple of teeth, but my mouth became huge. I mean, look at these chompers. I can fit at least 12 cats in this thing.
Okay, so that kind of explains the mouth there. I mean, you got a huge, humongous mouth. I mean, golly, 14 cats? Like, oh my god. I mean, look at this thing. It's so huge. I mean, especially when you do that scream thing. Yeah.
Oh, you mean this?
Yeah, that. Like, oh my goodness, your mouth is just huge. Like, oh my goodness. But anyways, your ears are huge too. So how does that happen?
Well, okay, so after I saved my beautiful face from being hit by that brick, and I saved myself a bloody nose too. You know, I had no time to really register all the pain that was going on in my mouth, because my mouth was in so much pain, but I didn't care. I needed to get this Martian out of my nose, and I needed to hurry up and climb the fence so I could get the school bus. Well, it turns out I ended up missing the last school bus. So we have a backup school bus that comes by really late. You know, and it's a Mexican that rides around with on a bike, and he's always he's carrying a wagon, you know, like a little wagon, like in those old 1800 movies, you know.
Oh, like a buggy?
Yeah, like a buggy, you know. And except there's no horses; it's just a Mexican on a bike.
Oh, okay. So that's a very interesting bus.
Yeah. I don't know why the third bus is like that, but yeah, it's like that.
Okay, well, that's pretty interesting.
Well, anyways, yeah. So I noticed that I accidentally ate my bus pass the night before. So the problem is that because I didn't have my bus pass, well, I did, but it was in my stomach. I had no other way of getting on the bus. You know, he didn't recognize me because my mouth, you know, was ginormous now. So you know what I did?
What did you do?
Well, you see, I always have a contingency plan for any time this happens. This were to happen, and I predicted it right. You know, I always keep an emergency burrito always inside my pants, being warmed. You know, because nothing is warmer than the inside of my pants. You know, feel my inner thigh. It's so warm in there. No, I am not doing that. That is weird, dude. Why do you have another burrito in there? You never know when you need a spare warm burrito to give to the Mexican bus driver. Even though he wasn't really riding a bus, he was riding a bike, pulling a carriage.
Okay, you know, I don't know how, but I could see that making sense. Although it's completely nonsensical, but yeah, sure, go on.
Yeah. So, anyways, you know, I got into the wagon, you know, and it was so hot in there. You know, we punched open all the windows.
Wait, you punched open the windows?
Yeah, so we can get some airflow in. You know, it was very hot in there, and it was very stinky, because there was at least 12 other students in there, and they were all stinky too. You know, we had some kindergartners who still shat in their pants. You know, we had some we had some third graders that wouldn't shower because they refused to. And and then we just got, we got other kids that are just stinky for no reason.
Okay. So it's hot, it was stinky, I can get you, so you busted the window?
Yeah, we always keep rocks inside the carriage just in case if we need to bust the window open.
Wait, so you just bust a new window open every time?
Yeah, they keep doing this annoying thing where they replace the window, but we always have to break them. You know, I don't know why they do that.
Well, we're not gonna get into that. That's kind of common sense. But anyways, so go on.
Yeah. So after busting open the windows, so we can get some airflow in. One of the stops that we passed by on the way to school is a flower shop. You see, and in this flower shop, there's a lot of flowers. They're all pretty, but there's always a bunch of bees flying around. You know, a bunch of bees.
Okay, a bunch of bees.
Yeah, a bunch of bees. You know, and these bees. Let me tell you, I hate bees. I love honey, but I hate bees. And these bees, one of these bees, they buzzed in inside of the carriage thing, and they were flying around me. And I was freaking out. I was going, yeah, and all the kids were like, oh, shut up, Neon. Oh, stop being so loud. Oh, 6 a.m. and you're already freaking out. Look at this idiot. They were all being mean as usual. And then you got that one kid just saying, why are you so ugly? And I'm like, why are you so short?
Get on with it.
Okay, yeah. So anyways, so what else happened was the bee kept on flying around. I kept on freaking out. I tried fighting it. I tried punching it, but then I kept on wanting to buzz near my ears. So, and here's the thing: I don't like little buzzing things next to my ear. It's like whenever this one kid got a fidget spinner, and then he started spinning it right next to my ear, and it felt really weird, and I hated it because I thought it was a bee, you know. So, anyways, you know, so this bee, you know, kept on flying around, and it stung my ear, and it really hurt. I was like, you know, and then he went around, he stuck the other ear, and I don't know why, but it didn't hurt as much. But anyways, you know, when this bee stung my ears, you know, it really hurt, and that's also the day I realized I had a severe allergic reaction to bee stings, because my ears grew exponentially. I mean, look at these things, like, they're so huge. Oh, well, I mean, obviously,
like I said, they're like the first thing I noticed about you. They're like satellites, you know. How well can you hear with those ears?
Not well at all. I actually lost my hearing once my ears grew bigger, and the problem is that I'm always in the back of the classroom.
Okay, you know, that doesn't make sense at all, but I'll take it. Yeah, you know, this is some good quality content that we're making for the podcast. You know, where we're interviewing a complete idiot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What you said.
Okay. Well, anyways. So go on with your day. You said this is the day that all your big adventure happened, right?
Yeah. So anyways, so you remember the burrito I mentioned earlier?
Yeah, the one you gave to the bus driver that came from your pants.
Yeah, that one. Well, he took one bite and he didn't like it. I don't know why. Like, I mean, I'm sorry that I don't have a microwave like fancy people do, or Mr. Big Fo does. But you know, I made that burrito freshly from Taco Bell, and I heated it with all my love. And this guy just throws it. He throws it out the window. And in fact, he was pedaling so fast that when he threw the burrito, it hit a kid in the face, and he ended up falling out of the carriage. And I was like, hey, senor, you missed somebody. You know, he fell out. He was like, oh, shut up, Neon. I was like, oh, okay. You know, but anyways, so we were still going to school, and you know, and my ears were still ringing from the whole bee stings, and yeah, it just wasn't fun at all. But my suffering finally came to an end when we finally arrived at school.
Why do you say that?
Well, you see, when we finally arrived at school, I saw the most epic thing ever.
Okay, so what's this most epic thing ever that made you completely forget your pain in your ears?
Well, you see, the school bus stopped.
You mean the school carriage?
Yeah. You know, it stopped, and I stepped out. You know, and then the bus driver was like, "Hey, Dia, don't beat your pendejo, you idiot. Why are you getting off the school wagon?" And I was like, "Well, we stopped. This is school." He's like, "Oh no, Neon, I'm at a red light." And I'm like, "Yeah, stop your lying. I'm not being late for class again." You know. So anyways, so I walk up to the school, and I realized it got taken over by Asians.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah, the school got taken over by Asians. And they renamed the school Soy Soys. Chinese tacos and egg rolls. It was the best thing I've ever seen. Like, the school looked like a Chinese temple, and when I opened the door, it smelled like Chinese food. It was great.
Wait, are you sure that the school wasn't? Are you sure this school wasn't a school at all? Like, I mean, it sounded like you kind of went into Soy Soy's Chinese restaurant, you know? Like, it's an actual restaurant with the exact same description that you've given it.
Well, I don't know. All these buildings look the same, you know. But anyways, you know. So I walked in, you know, and I was like, "Oh, cool, yeah. Oh, where's the desks? You know, where's the homework? Where's the teacher?" And then the teacher, Mr. Soy Soy, you know, he came out of nowhere and he kicks me in the face, and I was like, you know, and I was like, you know, Mr. Soy Soy, he was like, "Are you a customer?" And then I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "No spy?" And I was like, "Yeah." I wish, you know. But anyways, so he wanted to apologize for kicking me in the face. Like, you know, that's what I like about Mr. Soy Soy. He's a great teacher. You know, he wanted to apologize for accidentally kicking me in the face. Every other teacher just punches me for fun.
Okay, well, dude, Soy Soy, He's the owner of the restaurant. He's not a teacher. He doesn't even work at the school. That soy sauce isn't even near the school. It's like literally. I mean, it's like a couple streets away. Like, dude, how did you not know this wasn't a restaurant? How could you not see it? Like, I mean, you literally walked into the restaurant. You smelled Chinese food. Like, how did you not realize it?
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I get confused a lot.
Okay, well, that makes quite a bit of sense. But okay, so anyways, so go on.
Well, he wanted to apologize by by making me some free food, and I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, this school has an awesome new teacher. He does karate. He apologizes to me, and he gives me free food for the cafeteria.
Dude, that's not a cafeteria. It's a restaurant.
I don't know these things, but anyways, I was like, yeah, but why you giving me food now? It's not even lunchtime yet. And he was like, a sorcery be ugly man friend long time. And I was like, I'm in. I'm always in for a good friend.
Okay, well, I guess. All right, so keep on. So let's go on.
So anyways. So he made me some food. But the weird thing was that I like at the soy restaurant. It was kind of weird.
How weird exactly?
Well, you see, there was no, like I said, there was no desks, there was no tables, no chairs. We had to sit crisscross applesauce on the floor, and he was like, "Oh, you got to eat with feet on dojo," and I was like, "Huh? I'm not even that flexible." But anyways, I looked at my feet, and I realized. I forgot to completely wash my feet. It was disgusting down there. I had open cuts, I had pimples, hair, uncut toenails, ingrown toenails, fungus, and a little troll living in the hairs in between my toes. Wait, what? Well, more on that later. But anyways, so, I was freaked out. I was like, look at my foot! And the soy was like, ew, your foot's disgusting, and he kicked me out of the school, and I was like, oh no, what's going on here, and wait, what were we talking about?
You were talking about your great adventure, but so far all I've gotten is the story of how your ears turned big, of how your mouth became huge, and how you completely mistake the school for a Chinese restaurant for a school. Under the assumption that I got taken over by Asians. But anyways, like, when does this whole story start? I'm over here trying to figure out, what happened? How did you escape Big Mofo? Like, how did any of this happen? Like, I still don't get it. Like, are you gonna get there eventually?
Well, yeah. Let me think. I'm really trying to think. I really don't remember. I'll just tell you more about that day until I remember something. Okay.
Okay. Although I wanted to have a good cool story of how you freaking how you escaped from Big Mofo, but yeah, sure, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, so I walked out there. I saw a truck, and I just like that movie, Back to the Future. I stole somebody's skateboard, and then I grabbed the back of the truck and I started riding it. I was hoping it would take me back in time. Just like Back to the Future, it would take me back in time so I can go back to before the school was taken over by Asians.
Okay. Where do you get your logic from?
Well, movies.
Okay. So what happened next? What happened on your little great adventure, doing the whole Marty McFly thing?
Well, you see, Soy, he kind of pulled me to the side of the road. He was like, "Oh, I'll kick you to school," So he kicked me really, really hard in the face. Unfortunately, my mouth wasn't able to block it this time. Although I got to lick his foot a little, it tasted weird. It's just like sweat and rice. But anyways, so he kicked me so hard, I flew all the way up in the air, and I glided all the way to the school with my ears. It was the best feeling ever. I was like, I believe I can fly. I believe I can can touch the sky. You know, it was a cool, good feeling. You know, so then I flew so high, I crashed into the school through the big window, and I crashed into my lockers, and I was like, ow, that hurt. And, no, hey, that didn't even make any sense.
Amongst all the stuff you talked about, that was the one thing that didn't make sense.
Well, yeah, but anyways, so did I tell you I have a pet monkey?
You have a... Oh, well, okay, yeah, Mr. Bob Fartley did mention that in his podcast, so, yeah, so you have a pet monkey living in your locker?
Yeah, of course, you know, it's funny how we met the monkey. You see, Big Mofo, you know, he recently robbed the zoo for all of its money and animals, because he wanted to eat some exotic meats, you know, and he had some monkeys, and he was like, hey, Neon, here's a friend, and all the monkeys started attacking me, except for this one. You know, he refused to touch me. He just kept on throwing his poop at me, and I was like, that's the sign of friendship, you know. So I hugged him really hard. He scratched my face, and I brought him to school, and then I gave him some bananas. I put some bananas in my locker, and he climbed in there, and I kept him in there ever since. He's the guardian of all my textbooks, you know. So whenever I crashed into the school, I crashed into the lockers, you know, I went into my locker, and I asked, hey, a bowl, no wait, that's not his name, what's his name, not a bowl, a pool,
A pool? Oh, no, like a pool?
Yeah, a pool. But anyways, yeah, I was like, a pool, give me my math book. Yeah, you know, the reason why I said was because, you know, I opened my mouth, you know, because it was super huge. I wanted him to throw my math book into my mouth. I wanted to see if it could fit in there. But anyways, yeah, so after I did that, after I asked him specifically to throw my math book into my mouth, you know what he does?
What does he do?
He flings this doo-doo at my mouth. Like, for all of a sudden, I was like, hey, this textbook tastes like shit. And I was like, oh no, it is shit. You know, so then I started freaking out. I was like, whoa. And then after I tried spitting all the poop out, then he throws my math book at me. Actually, no, it wasn't even my math book. He throws my ABC book. He throws my ABC book in my face, and he breaks my glasses, and he breaks some of my teeth, and I ended up getting knocked out. It was terrible. Oh, my pet monkey, he betrayed me. I can't believe he would do such a thing. You know what else he did?
What did he do?
He jumped up and down on top of me about like 38 times, and then he ripped. He got his mouth, his sharp teeth, and he ripped part of my ear off.
Did he? I can't. That part of the story I cannot believe. Of all the random stuff you said today, like, I mean, look at your ear. It looks fine.
Yeah, but I swear to you, it was ripped off. You know, but the nurse did a really good job. You know, but unfortunately, after my ear got ripped off, well, you see, I passed out so freaking hard because I thought there was going to be a lot of blood, even though there was no blood at all. But anyways, so what happened was that you know, I went into the nurse's office, and you know, they were fixing on my ear, and I was like, huh, what are you doing to my ear? Because they were sticking pointy things inside of it, and then they were wrapping it up in skin tone wrapping paper, and they were taping it together. You know, it'll be a pretty good job, right?
You know what? After you mentioned that, yeah, your ear does look like that. It looks like a hack job, man. I mean, talking about pointy things, what did they? Wait a second. Let me look here. Okay, just looking at the wrapping paper. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I can see they put a fork, a pencil, and is that lipstick? Very sharp lipstick. Like, really? They put all that in your ear and they just covered it up?
Yeah. You know, pretty good nurses, are they?
Well, who the hell did your freaking ear? Like, this is like a hospital's job. This is a hack job. How long ago was this?
It was quite a bit ago. Like 7 years ago.
Bruh, no. Like, that's a no-no. That's a big no-no. But wait a second. 7 years ago, you were away from us for 7 years. Do you even know what 7 adds up to?
Yeah. You know, it comes after the number 3.
Okay. So 4 years ago. Okay. So who was your nurse, by the way?
Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's see if I can remember. I think his name was Billy Bob Joe, because when I woke up and I was like, hey, why are you sticking pointy things in my ear? And he was like, oh, is your name Billy Bob Joe? And I was like, oh no. And you know what he did?
Oh, what did he do?
He threw up in my mouth.
What? Ew! Ew, gross, 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 gross. You know what? Now that you mention it, freaking Billy Bob Joe, I saw him hanging around Uncle Larry in my freaking studio one time. It was annoying. Freaking, he invited him all to the house. He was all hyped up on Diet Coke and stuff. You know, it was a madhouse. He took my microphone to the bar, and it was a whole thing. But I didn't know he was your freaking nurse. I didn't know he was a nurse. I thought he was a farmer.
Well, I don't know what he does, but his name was Billy Bob Joe, and you know, when he threw up, his cigarette also fell in my mouth, so my mouth was on fire. I was like, you know, because it was burning. But anyways, so I threw up, and then you know, so after I finally got all that cigarette and the throw up out of my mouth, you know what else? You know, the nurse Billy Bob Joe did.
What did he do?
He hit me over the head with a beer bottle. And look, as you can see, I have no hair up here, so yeah, that really hurt.
Well, I mean, I would imagine. I mean, he hit you. First of all, he hit you over the head with a beer bottle. I'm assuming that's glass, right?
Yeah, that's why it broke apart when it hit my head.
Okay, well, anyways. So what happened afterwards?
Well, this is the only what he told me what happened. I wasn't conscious when this happened, but I think he pissed on my mouth.
Wait, huh?
Okay, so maybe he didn't tell me. But when I woke up, my mouth was filled with piss. And I know what piss smells like because I drink my piss all the time. But I knew this wasn't my own piss. It was somebody else's.
Okay, that is disgusting, first of all. Second of all, he's even more disgusting than the damn nurse of all people. Then again, it's Billy Bob Joe. Let me guess, the damn piss smell tasted like Diet Coke, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Ew! Okay, let's move on. What happened? Like, what happened?
Well, you see, what else happened? Okay, so, well, what else happened that day? Also, I went to lunch and,
wait, okay. I'm sorry that I'm gonna have to keep, interrupting you on this, but how is this connected to the freaking legendary day? By legendary day, I mean the freaking day, like, your big adventure. What does this have to do with it? It sounds like a quote-unquote normal school day. I mean, there's a lot of bizarre crap going on. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it just sounds like a normal school day.
Well, you see, well, like I said, we'll get there when I get there. I'm trying to remember as I go along. But anyways, so I went to the lunchroom, and let's see, and they were serving my favorite, mashed potatoes and poop.
Wait, what?
Yeah. You know, occasionally the lunch lady, you know, she'll bring in a child who needs to have, like, he needs to take a number 2, and she'll have him poop inside the, you know, inside the meatloaf, so she can beef up the meatloaf, you know? And, you know, and I was like, oh yeah, mashed potatoes and, yeah, you know, mashed potatoes and poo, you know, because, I mean, obviously, it smells like poo, it tastes like poo, and it must be poo, along with meatloaf, but anyways, yeah, you know, but I realized, too, I didn't bring my money that day, so I pulled out my tooth, and I gave it to the lunch lady, and I was like, here, the tooth fairy will give you the freaking $1 tomorrow, okay? And she was like, me gusta, but anyways, so I walked out of there, and,
okay, dude, I'm sorry, but if you don't get onto what the hell happened between you and Big Mofo that day you escaped from him, I'm literally going to freak. Like, I am literally going to freak. I have been waiting for this story, this entire freaking podcast. I took you out of class. We're walking around the school. I'm not Big Mofo. He's captured. But anyways, freaking Bob Fartley, Principal Fartley, can see us walking at any point in time, because this is like, what, the 3rd time we passed by the principal's office, and I'm kind of surprised he hasn't looked out the window. I'm very freaking surprised that he hasn't seen us yet. Not surprised that nobody's looked at the cameras and we realize, oh wow, why is one of our students not in class right now? Why is this weird guy with a microphone walking around with this guy? You know, like, I've been waiting for this story all podcast. Can you please get to the point?
Okay. Stop being mean, okay? I'm trying to remember as I go along.
Look, it doesn't. Okay, look. Truly, what happened? Like, I still don't understand what happened. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little too carried away. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
Okay, well, let's see. Okay, let me remember. Okay. So, later on after lunch, you know, I was walking down the hallway, right? Because I wanted to get back to my class, and the problem was that well, first of all, I went to my classroom and I got kicked out because I was telling a story of how, you know, my idiot Mexican brother Rick, you know, he got beat up by Big Mofo because he refused to give him all of his lunch money. And then, you know, I was telling my teacher, yeah, that's the story of how my Mexican brother from Boston got beat up by a black gangster who lives in a mansion. And my teacher, Miss Notwin, she was like, oh, get out of my class before I stab you, because, you know, she looks kind of weird. You see, she has like one tiny leg and one normal leg, and one of her arms is just a pencil, and she likes stabbing people all the time, and she kicked me out of the classroom. And so I was back out in the hallway, and I was like, well, what am I gonna do? My next class isn't until isn't for like another 10 minutes, you know. But anyways, you know, so I wanted to go get a drink of water, but then, you know, the freaking janitor, you know, his name is Eric Janitor. You know, he's an idiot too, but he's a mean idiot. You know, he's a janitor who likes to beat me up. You know, he likes to make fun of me, like, oh, look at this guy, yeah, well, he's an adult just like me, so I can beat him up all the time I want. And then I tell Mr. Principal Fartley all the time that, yeah, Eric Jenner, he's beat me up. Can you do something about him? And Mr. Fartley's like, oh no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I don't believe you, Neon. You're lying. Quit your lying. I'm like, oh, you're an idiot. Oh, blah. But anyways. So this guy, you know, he started punching me in the face, you know, so he took me to the water fountain, he stuck water in my ear, and then, after he did that, he was like, oh, well, let's take you out to dry. So he throws me out the window, and mind you, this is like the 4th story, you know, I'm falling, and then my ears, you know, it's a good thing they grew that day, because my ears started flapping, and I was able to fly. You know, I was able to fly, but, I ended up crashing through the window of the science room, and I accidentally got experimented on, you know. And you know what happened was the little chemical that they were conducting, it fell on my toe, and it accidentally teleported my toe to my head, you know. And I screamed so loud, I was like, whee! And apparently we got a call from a local farmer asking if one of his pigs accidentally escaped to the school again. Okay, look, please get to the damn point. Oh, fine. Anyways, you know, after that whole fiasco, I felt really sick. I just wanted to go home. You know, I just wanted to get out of there. You know, so I jumped out the window and I started using my ears to fly again. And you know, I was Super Neon. You know, I felt like Super Neon because I was flying around in the air with my ears. I'm getting to the point. But anyways, so I landed. You know, so when I landed, it was actually on Rick. He was riding a wagon. You know, like, look, here's the funny thing about Rick. He likes to pretend he's cool all the time, you know, because he wears the cool clothes and he has the cool sunglasses and he likes to talk cool. But you know what? In reality, that guy's lame. You know, he's dumb and he's lame. You know, and this guy, he was trying to run away from Big Mofo because he ended up beating him up for his lunch money for like the 5th time this week. And you know, so I ended up falling into his wagon. You know, he was trying to escape, and I was like, "Hey, Rick, watch where you're going. You're on a busy highway." And he was like, "I don't care, Neon. You're dumb. You know, yeah. Oh, if you want to be a backseat driver, you know, drive the wagon yourself." And I was like, What's going on? What's going on? Like, get to the freaking point. Okay. So anyways, we ended up crashing the damn wagon. Wait, by wagon, do you mean a freaking, like what you were riding in earlier? Like the freaking Mexican thing, you know, with the bike and the buggy? No. It was an actual wagon. You know, like a radio flyer. Oh, okay. That kind of clears up the picture. I was wondering how the freak your brother could have gotten a hand on a buggy. But anyways, go on, man, go on. Oh, well, Yeah, anyways, so we finally crashed into a brick wall, and I was like, you idiot, you can't drive. And I was like, oh, well, at least we're safe here. Big Mofo's not gonna find us. And then, anyways, you know, so this homeless guy, he walks up to us and he's like, oh, I wanna squeeze your nipple. You know, I'm gonna give you a purple nipple. You know, so he grabs, he grabs Rick's nipples and he squeezes them really hard. He twists them and he's like, ow, my nipples, they hurt. I was like, shut up, you idiot, you're stealing my lines. You know, but unfortunately, the dark alley that we're in, being attacked by this homeless dude, you know, it ended up echoing so loud that you know, that Big Mofo, he ended up finding us, you know, and he started shooting at us with his gun, and we were like, oh, no, don't shoot me. And then this is when Rick finally had his cool moment. You know, Rick finally started actually being cool. You know, he jumped at Big Mofo. He was like, no! You know, he jumped right at him. You know, he was gonna try to beat him up, but the problem is that Rick is so weak. He is so weak, and Big Mofo's arms are so big, so muscly, that when he ended up crashing to his arm, it sounded like he did a belly flop. It sounded like it hurt too. So anyway, so he he slapped onto his arm. Big Mofo didn't even feel it, you know. And Rick just landed flat onto the ground, you know, face going upward, and you know, he got ran over by a car.
Wait, what? How the hell is he still alive?
Yeah, he got ran over by a car, but what happened was that the car actually, like, it hit him, but it didn't flatten him like a pancake, which sucked, because I wanted him to be a pancake so I could take him to IHOP. But anyways, so what happened was that, you know, he flew into the air, you know, he flew into the air really, really high. He's so high, in fact, that he face planted on the moon, and he started falling back down.
And you know this, how?
Oh, because it looked like it. You know, my glasses go pretty far, you know.
Like you mean like a telescope?
Yeah! Actually, one of my lenses is a telescope lens.
Okay, so the whole Big Mofo thing. Let's get back to that. You know, what else went on?
Well, after he saw that that Rick went up to the sky, you know, he pointed his gun at my mouth. He was like, "Oh, you next, fool!" And I was like, "Oh no, you know. So then I went, oof, you know, and I slapped that gun out of his hands, and then you know, I grabbed onto his shirt, and then I tried punching him, but it had no effect. So I started doing what that homeless guy did to us, and I bit his nipple.
Wait, the homeless guy, you said he gave you a purple nipple. You didn't say he bit your nipple.
Well, that's what he wanted to do, but you know, but I decided to steal his idea and use it for my own self-defense. You know, so after I started biting his nipple with my new ginormous mouth, you know, I decided to kick him in the chest while doing it, and then it worked. You know, I ended up beating Big Mofo. He fell to the ground, and then as he fell, you know, face upwards onto the ground, you know, he fell on his back. And at the same time, Rick happened to fall back down from the sky, and you know, and he crashed into him really hard. You know, so hard in fact that he buried Big Mofo into the ground.
Wait a second, hold on, wait a second. Okay, so you're saying Rick fell out of the sky and he killed him?
No, I mean, no, of course he didn't. He just buried him deep into the ground.
Well, okay, well, so you're saying he's alive right now?
Yeah, Rick's alive. He's just watching cat videos all day at home because he's too lazy to go to school. Even though, like, he hasn't went to school in years, and he hasn't passed. You know, at least I'm trying to freaking learn. Even though I have repeated the 3rd grade for a bunch of times already. But anyways, anyways, that's how we buried Big Mofo into the ground, and we escaped. You know, we tried running away. We ran away all the way to Aunt Jemima's. But except we didn't know it was Aunt Jemima's. You know, we just kept on running, and she was like, "Hey, Neon, is that you?" And I was like, "Huh? Who are you?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's me, Aunt Jemima. Do you remember me?" And I was like, I don't know. Who are you? I never seen you before in my life. And she was like, "Oh, I'll prove I know you. You like to pick your belly button, right?" And I was like, "Huh?" yeah. She was like, you like to pick your belly button and you like to eat belly jelly, right? And I'm like, oh, how did you know? And she was like, well, I'm your Aunt Jemima. And I'm like, oh my god, it is you. Even though I still didn't really know who she was, but I was like, oh yes, yeah, she knows my deepest, darkest secret. That means I can trust her. Okay, that's crazy logic, but yeah, come on. Anyways. And so from there on, we started living over there at her house. Big Mofo hasn't found us since. And so you said he was locked away, or he was taken care of. What did you say about Big Mofo earlier? Well, you see, so when me and my friends, you know, we went over there to save your dad from Big Mofo because he owed him a lot of money. He was in a lot of debt. You know, it was a combination of one of my guys just beating the living crap out of him. I mean, he was wailing on him. This dude is literally a bear, a polar bear to be exact, and he is just like clawing the crap out of this dude. And then freaking, I mean, this was after we stopped the recording. My other friend, the Wixard, you know, he uses nanotechnology, I mean his magic, to you know, to kind of imprison the guy, you know, in a little magically made prison made out of nanotech. And you know, I mean, took him away to the nearest police station, and you know what? He is gone for good. You know, he's serving a lot of time, man, for a lot of gang-related crimes. You know. Oh well, as long as he's not gonna find us and try to ask for lunch money again, I'm fine. But yeah, me and Rick, we've been living with our Aunt Jemima, and yeah, we've been trying. Well, I've been trying to pass school. Rick is just trying to be an idiot. You know, like the dummy he is. Okay, well, that's what I wanted to hear. You know, I just wanted to hear what happened between y'all and Big Mofo, how you guys escaped. You know, and I can't believe it took us nearly an hour just to get there. With most of the hour is just you talking about a normal, quote unquote normal day at school. Yeah, exactly. You know, don't you have normal days? Well, not your normal, but anyways. Okay, well, I'm gonna bring you onto the show, and then on the next podcast, you are going to finally meet your dad. I have a dad. Well, it's kind of a long story. Do you remember anything from when you were 15 and behind? I remember a church. That's about it. Okay, well, you're actually going to meet your dad for the first time then. You know, and we'll save that for whenever that time comes around. But anyways. Here, you go. Like, see, look, we just arrived at look, we've just arrived at your hallway, so you can go ahead and just walk back inside. We'll go back to your classroom and tell them that you're ticket number 2. I'm gonna go ahead and try to escape before your principal decides he wants to try to kill me. But anyways, okay, so all right, guys. That was Neon Firecracker, everybody. That was just my little interview with him. You know, we're gonna be I'm gonna be bringing Mr. Bill over. He's gonna finally go ahead and meet him. And oh, guess what? We're gonna be meeting all the people that know Neon Firecracker too, just to kind of, you know, just to see what they gotta say about him. You know, what they gotta say about this dude that freaking Mr. Bill doesn't know. You know, this is how we're gonna try to get to know him. You know, I mean, obviously this dude has a couple of screws loose. I mean, not in the bad way. He doesn't remember anything. So we are gonna get an accurate depiction of who he is by talking with him, and along with the people who know him just by being around him. Anyways, so. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you want to listen to more, you know, you can go ahead and listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, whatever the hell you listen to your podcasts on. I'm most likely on there. You can go ahead and like and subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And yeah, so thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for doing all this stuff. I'm finally gonna go ahead and go home before you know, Mr. Bob Fartley here sees me, and he's going to give me detention.
Asiago! How dare you be on the premises? You're gonna get detention. You get your ass over here.
Okay. I'm sorry, sir. Please don't please. I don't want detention. I graduated 5 years ago. Please, just let me be.
No, you're gonna be in detention. Get over here.
No. Okay. This is your boy Asiago on 3am signing off. Have you a good one.